We're here with another guest, a special guest this time around. We have Susanna Garanzuay, who is a coach from ACAC. In our effort to continually bring guests on our podcast that have an impact on our local tennis community, we had to go a little bit farther afield this time. So we're talking to Cat DeSouza, who's out in Charlottesville. So generally speaking, what would be your statement relative to tennis?
Fun exercise. You can play with your friends. It's very social.
You were heavily involved in world team tennis. Is that still one of your passions?
My first job in the tennis industry was in 2014. And that's when I got hired to start World Team Tennis Leagues in Richmond. And then just kind of decided I didn't want to work for that organization anymore for various reasons. So in 19, somebody suggested I apply for a national position on a USTA committee. So I did, and I got on the wheelchair committee. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of my introduction to wheelchair tennis.
Susanna has an interesting story that relates not only to a location of upbringing and stuff like that, but also college tennis and now coaching and playing in USTA.
Welcome to the Blue Collar Tennis RVA podcast, dedicated to amateur tennis players in RVA who are looking to improve their game, find community, and nerd out on all things tennis. Produced and recorded by Richmond Podcast Studio.
Welcome back to Blue Collar Tennis RVA. Again, we're here with another guest, a special guest this time around. We have Susanna Garanzuay, who is a coach from ACAC. I've been privileged and honored enough to be able to take clinics with Susanna. You actually run the 3540 HITS clinic is really exceptional.
Thank
I like
you.
it. Now I can't do it for 3 weeks now, but I miss it. So I appreciate that. We appreciate your efforts generally as a coach at ACAC.
Thank you. Thank you.
Susanna has an interesting story that relates not only to a location of upbringing and stuff like that, but also college tennis and now coaching and playing in USTA. I think you do that as well. So we're going to get started just basically by asking you the standard question at the jump is relative to your origin story.
Okay.
So if you want to detail, I know Texas is the foundation,
Yes.
right? So we won't talk about the Spurs. Taylor just had that conversation, so we're not going to do that.
Yeah, let's leave the Spurs out of it for sure.
Leaving the Spurs out of this conversation. So how and where did you grow up and end up in Richmond?
All right. So I am from a little bitty town in West Texas called Sonora. Population 3,000 people. Literally the middle of nowhere. Closest metroplex to it is San Antonio. So when anybody asks, I usually say San Antonio.
Okay.
Hence the Spurs. So that's where I grew up. I actually didn't even get into tennis until 8th grade, believe it or not, which is old for a collegiate player. So I was visiting my grandparents. They lived in Gainesville, Virginia, actually. So I grew up coming up here a lot. Visiting them, and they had a park across the street. And one day my grandpa took me out to play tennis. I'd never even heard of it. And that's how it started.
Wow. So how did you end up in Richmond? So was that part of your introduction? You loved Virginia so much? Or the family ended up relocating? Is that sort of. Actually, the entire reason that I ended up in Richmond is actually for the job at ACAC. Okay.
Because I was teaching tennis in Texas. But we don't have indoor facilities in San Antonio. So the weather-dependent income made it a little difficult. So I just looked for indoor courts, and ACAC popped up, and here we are.
Nice.
Yeah.
So within the context of your tennis career, you played in high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Played 8th grade all through high school, Sonora High School. My senior year, I did get 3rd at state championship in Texas.
Nice.
So that was the crowning achievement of my high school career.
That's more than a lot of people can say. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
So that's singles?
Yep, singles.
Wow. Okay.
Played a lot of singles.
So then you go from that experience to college at D3, and you got to explain where the college was.
Pretty much. So it's called Howard Payne University, little Division III Baptist school. Pretty much smack dab geographically centered in Texas.
Okay.
So it's about a couple hours from Austin, a couple hours from San Antonio, 4 hours from Dallas. So kind of right there in the middle of the state is where I went to college. Played 3 great years there, and then frankly got burnt out. My junior year, I started hating tennis.
Holy cow. I hate to say it, but that's not the first time I've heard that on this podcast. The other story, if you've seen it, is related to the fact that the coach was a kind of a jerk on the team. And that kind of led the person to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
So in your case, you just had played too much tennis.
Yeah.
Got fed up.
Well, kind of. So it was a combination of things. So I didn't actually, even though I started playing in 8th grade, I didn't actually have the goal of playing in college until January of my junior year of high school. So I had about a year and a half to get good enough to play in college. And I worked really hard at it.
Good on you. That's outstanding.
Yeah. Hours upon hours a day. My parents, shout out to my parents. They sacrificed so much for me to be able to do this. They bought me a ball machine that I could practice. They would take me the nearest country club, or the nearest location. It happened to be a country club, but the nearest place that I could take lessons was an hour away from where we lived. So an hour one way. Every week, sometimes multiple days a week, my parents would drive me. And then
you're doing, so the ball machine was you on your own at a more local court.
At our high school courts.
Just pounding balls all day.
Yep.
Wow.
And I would play against anybody and everybody that would be willing to come out and practice with me for hours. So I spent a lot of time on the tennis court. On top of that, playing tournaments every weekend. My parents would drive me sometimes 6 hours away on a Friday night.
Wow.
To play a tournament 8 a.m. Saturday morning.
Dedication, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Good on them, and good on you for having the focus.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so then you, at junior year of high school, it all was like, or college, you're like, oh my gosh, this is too much now. Yeah.
So that compounded with my junior year, I was the number 1 singles player, and I got elected captain. And so the pressure that I put on myself, like I said, compounded with just the years and years of hard work, I was done.
You're just trying to go to school, too. You're trying to get a degree.
Yes.
With all of that other stuff going on.
Yes. I actually have a degree in mathematics that I had to work really hard for. So all of that, I was like, can't do it.
Well, we can forgive you.
Thanks.
That sounds like I can imagine the pressure just in the tennis arena. Then the mathematics degree is a whole nother angle.
Right.
My next door neighbor is a math professor at University of Richmond, and I've talked to her a couple times, and I'm like, okay, she's way smarter than me. I can just tell talking to her.
Yeah.
But that's the fact that you realize you're burned out, and then did you leave the team at that point?
I quit my senior year. I'm pretty sure my coach still hates me, but I had to. I couldn't do it. Like I hated it so much that I just couldn't.
Well,
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
like
from a mental perspective, it's good that you saw that was the case and walked away from it, right?
Yeah.
So then you got your degree in math. You got into banking in Texas?
Yes.
And you were not thinking about tennis at all. You're like, I'm not ever touching another racket.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the way it was?
Yep. I had no plans. I was working at a bank right out of college. And for 2 years, right out of college.
Near San Antonio, or
at that point I was in College Station, Texas.
Okay. Texas A&M,
yep.
right? Okay.
Texas A&M, East Texas. So
yeah,
that's where I was when I started my banking.
And then, so how
career.
did you transition from that back into tennis? And
so one day, so it had been 3 years, if you count my senior year of college plus the 2 years that I was in banking, it had been 3 years since I played tennis. And just one day I was like, I'm going to give it a try again. And so I joined a local league, haven't played in 3 years, had a blast. And I was like, I enjoy this again.
Dominated everybody. Came in at what, a 3-0 or something?
Yeah, 4-0 probably at that time.
Yeah, okay.
But yes.
So you didn't sandbag too much.
No. No.
3 years off is, I guess that's good. 4-0. A lot of people would have come back as a 3-0.
Yeah,
just to dominate.
Well, yeah, no, yes.
Yeah, you didn't do that.
No,
so you play in the league and you have fun again.
I have fun again.
So it all comes back to you.
All comes back.
Because there's the added pressure isn't there.
Yeah, there's no it was so different from my last experience.
Yep.
That I loved it again.
So do you have any ambition to try to get back into the singles arena and play, USTA singles or something like that, to be able to try to get back to competitive? I know you play USTA now in doubles mostly, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, for sure. I'm always up for some singles play. I actually prefer singles.
Yeah.
Just because of my background. But I would definitely welcome the opportunity to play competitively. Play singles competitively again.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah, for sure.
So do you know Jeff Johnson? Have you seen him? So he's a member at ACAC, but also at MTC, or no, MAC. He plays individual, he plays singles, USTA 65 and over, and he's number 3 in Virginia now, or number 3 nationally or something. I forget what. Yeah, he does stuff like drive to Philadelphia, play a tennis match, and then drive home in the same day.
Oh gosh! Wow.
Yeah, he's dedicated to it.
That's very dedicated.
So I'll introduce him to you if next time I see him. He's a character.
Sounds good.
But he's also a good tennis player. But anyway, that's why that thought popped in my head that you could at this stage you could get involved in that again and probably succeed without the pressure.
Yeah.
As much pressure.
Yeah.
You'd still have pressure, but not the same level.
Not I would almost probably have no pressure because I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
And that's what I teach is you have to try not to care about the result. And that was what the issue so much was in college, was because I was number 1 in captain, I had to win. I had to do well.
Yeah.
And that's where it derailed.
Yeah, so now the pressure is on at ACAC because you're responsible for the Tallheimer Challenge team.
Yes. Yes.
So you got to come up. I know and forgive me for saying this, but I know there's some politics involved.
Yes.
But within the context of the way you guys are doing it, you put together like a challenge internally at ACAC, and all the other clubs are doing this too.
Yep.
So you put together this challenge where you have everybody at certain levels playing within or competing against each other to try to get a shot at the people who either played in the tournament last year or have been shown to be better and worthwhile, and they're already in the mix as far as the chosen, as we call them.
Right.
So how much you don't put that much pressure on yourself, or similar pressure on yourself as when you had it in college relative to the Tallheimer Challenge, right? You just sort of look at it as a job responsibility. And I'm not trying to put more pressure on you.
No, good question.
How do you perceive that as far from the challenge or the pressure of that versus the pressure of being a captain and a number one singles player?
Oh, yeah. Great question. So it's a different kind of pressure. I think, so I actually had to play in Tallheimer last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that having to play was more pressure for that hour and a half that I had to play than the entirety of running the 8 months.
That's interesting. So you put the pressure on yourself because you say, then I have to win.
I have to do well because I teach all of these people that are watching me.
Yeah, and that's hard to get away from. How do you separate yourself?
But of course, it's self-inflicted pressure. Of course, ultimately, it's good for clients to see that we make the same exact mistakes that everybody does.
Well, and also that you take it seriously enough to put pressure on yourself to say, I need to perform because I'm trying to tell these people how to do it.
Exactly.
So as far as that's concerned, it's good. It's a good experience though to be able to take those teams and form that team and send it out there and let them compete on the court. Yep. There's less pressure from that perspective. You're kind of like the manager of the whole thing.
Right.
So with that in mind, how do you perceive our chances this year?
I mean, I think every year we have good chances. I mean, we came in second last year. And at one point we were in first place. Yep.
After Saturday.
Yeah, either after Saturday or
partway through Sunday,
right? Yeah. So it's definitely feasible for sure, especially with the great players that we have at ACAC all around.
Yeah, I think you see all those. So it was Jason Kinder back in the day with all those posters, the banners from 7 years in a row, I think, or something. No offense to the CCVs or the Westwoods of the world, but we're coming for you. So how do you like the job at ACAC so far? You said so the move from Texas was kind of predicated on the idea that, hey, I can teach year round. Yep. I can find a club that has indoor, outdoor facility. Yep. All the other stuff that goes along with it. So do you find it a good move so far and you're happy with Virginia versus Texas? We won't talk about basketball teams or the weather because I'm sure that's an obvious difference.
Yes. Yeah, it's great. I mean, this role also is kind of a promotion. It's kind of been my first directorial role within the tennis industry. Nice. And so that played a part in it as well, on top of the indoor-outdoor facility. So yeah, it was twofold there.
Yeah, logical step. So as far as tennis in general, what is your favorite thing about it at this point? As far as without the pressure, you get to play. I mean, you get to coach. You get to be a director at ACAC. You get to participate in USTA when you want to. So no pressure. It's, as you said, it's a good thing at this point.
Yeah, it's great. My favorite thing as a player or as a coach?
Yeah, more as well. Yeah, let's start with player first.
Well, I mean, I anytime I do step on the court, most of the time, I really don't feel any pressure. I feel like, because I don't really get to play a lot. Pretty much when I play USTA, that's the only playing, hitting that I get to do. So it's literally I have nothing to lose because I haven't played a match in 3 weeks since the last USTA match. Now, if, people are watching and it's people that I know and I teach, then the pressure builds a little bit. But ultimately, it's still not.
Yeah, it's still nearly a 180 from having the captaincy and being the number one singles player.
Yes.
Well, that's good. So as a coach, what's your favorite thing that you see as a result of the coaching that you do?
So I think for me, it's got to be when I see clients or when I hear about my clients reach out to me and they're like, Susanna, you're never going to believe I did the thing that you said and it worked.
Yeah, nice.
So they're succeeding in their matches. I mean, it's one thing to succeed at clinic and to succeed in practice, but then to implement what I'm trying to teach them in an official match, whether it's USTA or Suburban or whatever the case, I know that feeling. I know that feeling of practicing something so much, and then the moment it actually works in a real life match, it's like something clicks and you've got it.
Yeah.
And so that success is what I enjoy the most.
That's great. And you get to see that from junior levels all the way up to the adults, the crazy adults that you coach in these clinics and so on.
For sure.
So you have, there are other coaches at ACAC that are doing juniors. They focus on juniors, right? So you're more the adult.
Yes.
And then adult director, and then you can sort through who handles what specific clinics.
Yes.
So as far as coaching, how many folks would you say you're coaching right now that you like private lessons and
between classes and lessons combined, or just lessons?
The lessons, like the lessons specifically?
Probably minus classes. Let's see. I'm gonna do some math real quick.
Don't get too deep into it.
I know. Maybe 10 to 20 a week.
Wow. Okay.
Depending on if it's a 4-person lesson or if it's a private lesson or vacations and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I know you've been doing something with Joanne, some stuff with Joanne and her buddies.
Yep.
So that's good. Yeah, she needs more of that.
Yeah. She can come on by anytime.
I'll tell her that for sure. So we can shift gears into kind of the nerdy aspect of this. So equipment wise, what's your preferred racket and strings, and do you get down into all that and you have specific requirements, or is it something you're not so interested in?
It's kind of funny because my very first racket in high school was bought at a sports store, $60 or whatever the case was back then. And I loved it, played with it for all through college. I mean, I loved that racket. Wow. It was the Wilson Surge.
Yep,
actually is what it was. The yellow and red and black one. And then they came out with the green and black one. And so I played with that.
Okay.
Actually, that might have been the one I played through college. But then since I haven't been playing as competitively, I've just been kind of playing with whatever's been given to me. So somebody
like
gave
demos
me
or you mean
basically
just like gifts?
Yeah. Well, so like at my old club in San Antonio, I think my director was like, "Hey, I've got this old Clash. Do you want it?" And I'm like, "Sure." Yeah, and so I started playing with the Clash. And then somebody
you get it restrung. Or
get it restrung. I used to be particular about my string, but since then I've switched to. So I used to do like a hybrid synthetic gut and poly.
Okay.
But then I switched to. I think Kieran does multi. I don't know. Kieran knows how he strings my racket, but multi-filament. But I've definitely lowered the tension significantly. I think it's at 53
oh, wow.
or 55.
Where were you? What level were you?
In high school, I was at 61.
Holy smokes.
I know.
That's unusual,
because,
right?
Well, yeah, because most high schoolers don't really know what they're doing. And so I was like...
So they just leave the racket, whatever.
Yeah, and so I had no idea. So.
But that gives you... So 61 gives you more power, right?
Opposite.
No, less power.
Yeah,
more
because
spin and more control.
Yes, less power. Okay. Because it's not as bouncy.
It's not as springy. It's not as much of a trampoline effect. Right. So the lower, because the lower you go, the more trampoline effect you have. Yeah. So if you go to 61, it's tight strings that you can put more spin on and more control.
Yep.
So in high school, you were dominating because you were controlling the matches and using spin, which maybe a lot of the other folks didn't have any idea. Yeah. And then college, so you kept that up through college? Was your tension?
So.
Yeah. And so now you're down to 53. So I usually string at 51. I think Kieran strings at 51. I've tried like 49 or whatever, but I'm too old for that to matter. So,
no, you're not.
So, all right. So then now you just use rackets that people basically.
Well, I did. Yes, I did. And then so somebody gave me the Clash, so I played with that. And then I think I demoed the Head Gravity back in San Antonio. And there's a big difference.
That's a sea change
between
from the Wilson.
From the Clash to the Gravity. And I really like the Gravity. So the Gravity is what I have chosen to stick with.
Okay.
As opposed to people just giving me random rackets. I'm like, yeah, sure.
So the Gravity now with this 53 tension and the whatever Kieran, the monofilament or whatever the heck
whatever he does.
Whatever magic he's working.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that's your preferred, overall your preferred racket at this point.
As of right now, anyway.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. They come out with new rackets are like golf clubs. They come out with new rackets every year. Prices are going up. I think I saw where the new Wilsons are $319 or something like that now.
I didn't even know it was that expensive.
These Yonex, that Yonex was $3. I got a deal on that through ACAC, but they're $305 or whatever. Yeah, it's insane.
That is bad.
So, all right. So going from that to like, can you tell me what your like pre-match routine and post-match routine when you were serious and had all the pressure on you in college and stuff? How did you go about getting ready for a match and then playing and then the post-match scenario?
Yeah, so I basically a lot of citrus before the match, like oranges and whatnot. That gives you the good boost of energy. I've been told anyway. I don't know if it's still the case nowadays. This is like over 20 years ago. So, but then like in all reality, I would just kind of listen to music and just have fun with my teammates, not really think about anything. I'm one of those players, I don't actually like to know anything about my opponent.
That's interesting.
Because then I'll go into it with these preconceived notions of what I should or shouldn't do. And in all reality, you just need to go out and play your game. And if you need to adjust it, you can.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would adjust on the fly as you're playing. You find out what this opponent's good at or bad at, and you adjust on the fly during the match rather than worry about it. So you don't get a scouting report.
Yeah, I don't.
No bulletin board material.
I don't like to. I do have doubles partners that are like, oh, okay, this is what I noticed, with our opponents. And I can't be rude and say, no, don't tell me that. Like, so I sometimes get them and it's fine, but I actually try and ignore it because it does. I don't want to have preconceived notions about anything about my opponents at all. So I just wouldn't think about who we were playing.
Yeah, there's captains right now. I'm on a team where the captain will come out before every match with the tennis record ratings of every player.
Don't get me started on tennis record.
Yeah. A lot of people have opinions on that. But he'll come out and he'll be like, this guy's a 3.4, and you're like, okay, that kind of makes me. Yeah. Immediately you're on the defensive, and you're thinking, oh God, this guy's going to take me to the cleaners, but. Yeah, in reality, you should be more focused on what you can do best, regardless of what the other. Not much you can do about how they play the game. Yeah, you just have to learn how to take advantage of it if you can.
Yeah, I don't know how well you know this, but tennis is a very mental game, and
I'm the least mental person. Yeah,
and in all reality, if we go into a match having a certain mindset, that does affect.
Sure.
Potentially the outcome of the match.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
All right. So you go in without knowing what your opponent's good at or bad at or whatever. You figure it out on the fly. You play the match. You come out of it, win or lose. What's your post-match? What was your post-match? Like ice baths or how did you?
Ice, yeah. I actually injured my back in college. So for like the last year and a half of my collegiate career, I would have to ice my back and
so what does that entail? You're laying on a table and they just put ice packs on your back
no, actually they take saran wrap and they'll get a bag of ice and they strap it. Wow. So I don't have to be in one place. I can still go watch my teammates.
Oh wow.
Wow. Yeah, it was no fun. No fun. But yeah, so then I'm sure you may have not seen, but shoulders are a lot. They'll like strap it.
Yeah,
on
I've
the
seen
shoulder,
that.
but similar concept.
You see that more in the NBA where they're icing the knees and the shoulders and the backs and so on. Yeah. All right. So then what was your, you said oranges, like citrus was a big thing. What kind of, like any pre-match meal or post-match? Like just as an aside. So on the Nothing Major podcast, Stevie Johnson once said, he said, I ate all my losses. So he said, I would, if I lost, he said, you'd find me at IHOP, like just stuffing myself with food. Because obviously the lead up to the match, he's doing a different diet, you know, but so I had never heard that before. That was pretty hilarious. But did you find that was, you had a habitual pre-match routine for eating other than the citrus and or post-match meals or anything, especially in college where that's probably somewhat dictated by the coaches and so on, isn't it? Or not really? Not as much as you would think.
I don't think as much at D3 because there's no athletic scholarships. So we're not paid to play. We're quite literally volunteers to play. So,
and there wasn't NIL back in the day.
Right. But to answer your question, no, I mean healthy before and then
whatever
unhealthy after. I mean, I'm a big pasta girl. I love pasta. So I tried obviously to avoid the pasta before, because carbs are very heavy.
But then Olive Garden after.
But love me some Olive Garden. But so nothing specific, just healthy. And then, once the tournament was over anyway, because of course, like if I played a late match on Saturday, but I had to get up and play 8 a.m. again on Sunday, then obviously this Saturday evening meal would still have to be somewhat healthy. Not a carb load quite yet.
Yeah. Was there any specific, and this is, as you said, it's long ago, but was there any specific fluids that you were trying to get in, like anything with a lot of salt or potassium or whatever, just...
I don't know that
water, Gatorade, I guess. Back in the day.
Yeah. I don't recall having electrolyte powders and things like that 20 plus years ago. So it was Gatorade and water. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have liquid IV or Element or anything like that. So
there's 100 of them out there now.
I know. Yeah. So Gatorade, lots of Gatorade.
Nice. All right. So let's go down this road. If you have something to tell, or when let's say you come in to coach and it turns out you're coaching a 8-year-old kid that's just starting in tennis.
Okay.
How do you approach that person, and how do you frame the game, and how do you tell them because my big question with kids, like especially in this day and age, given the focus on, media and everything, is how do you try to get a kid hooked on tennis, without force feeding it to them and without like, because in theory, they're going to go home and just jump back on the phone again or jump back on their game again. What's your best approach to that?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that first off, you have to make it fun. Obviously, right? Like if they come out to junior classes or lessons or whatever the case may be, you just got to make it fun for them first, because then they'll want to keep coming back. Yeah. And then the hope is, 8, in my opinion, is a little young to determine, because our plans change, day after day, really, much less between 8 years old and college. Yeah. So I think first and foremost, just make it fun. Get them hitting a tennis ball, hand-eye coordination, and all the things, like the correct technique and everything. But ultimately, like, I think that for them to decide that they want to take this seriously and pursue it in, high school, even college, I think that decision is made, middle school.
Okay. Yeah.
Time. That's, my opinion anyway, is that I don't think kids really know if they're going to like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until they start competing. And then that, I think, is the big indicator, right? Like if they're competing and
they're serious about it.
They're going to keep signing up for tournaments and, keep moving up that way.
So when you have an adult who, let's say like your situation, they had played in high school, let's say, and then they come to you at 35 or 40 and they say, hey, I want to get back into this. You don't necessarily have to make it fun because they already enjoyed
want
enough.
To do it. Yes.
They already enjoyed enough that they have that background.
Right.
So then you just focus on the technique and the trying to get them back to a point where they can compete at a similar level. Maybe not tournaments, but USTA or something like that.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's a better. Do you have a preference? Juniors versus adults, and I'm not going to hold you.
Adults for sure, which is why I'm the adult director. No, I do love working with kids. Obviously, I don't hate working with kids. I just find for me personally, teaching adults is just easier.
Yeah.
It's just easier for me to teach adults versus 5-year-olds.
A little bit of psychology involved with a 5 or 8-year-old for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So to wrap it up kind of and no pressure here. So if you were generally speaking, what would be your statement relative to tennis and why you think it's valuable and why you think it's worthwhile for people either to start young and or get back into it or get into it as an adult?
I thought you said no pressure.
You have to make this a very broad response.
I mean, ultimately, it's fun exercise.
Yeah.
First off, I'm one of those people, I hate going to the gym. And so now that I'm not burnt out anymore, tennis is fun. So it's fun exercise. You can play with your friends. It's very social. You can attest to that, right? Being on a USTA team, playing with friends, it's just a more fun way to be active, learn something new. I actually have a couple of adults that I'm teaching now. I'm like, okay, what made you want to get into tennis? And they were like, I just wanted to do something new. I've never done it before.
Yeah, nice.
And so it's a good way to, try new things, especially if you did play in high school, you can get back into it. And it has been, a study has shown actually that tennis players are the, world's healthiest athletes or whatever. Have you seen that?
I've seen that life expectancy is longer by years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's 10 years or something. But something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the specifics of it.
It's both a cardio and a full physical workout. So it's
right.
Yeah, that's logical.
Right.
It's logical.
But to just be mobile, try new things. It's a lot of fun. And then if you end up not liking it, you don't have to play.
Go play pickleball.
Yes.
I shouldn't say that. I have somebody coming on next month talking about pickleball.
but so, you could. I'm all for people who either can't or are less likely to be active, step on a pickleball court to get some mobility.
Yeah, some activity.
Something.
Yeah.
But tennis first.
Yeah, tennis number one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, Susanna, I appreciate it. We appreciate your time. Again, not only as a coach at ACAC, we appreciate what you do for us over there, and I appreciate you coming by today.
Of course.
We'll have you back when there's even less pressure, so you won't be nervous next time.
I know.
And we'll have you back, and we'll talk tennis again. So
sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again for coming by.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome back, everybody, to Blue Collar Tennis RVA. In our effort to continually bring guests on our podcast that are interesting and unique and that have an impact on our local tennis community, we had to go a little bit farther afield this time. So we're talking to Cat DeSouza, who's out in Charlottesville, used to be a Richmond resident, and my wife and I have known Cat for years, from basically when Cat lived in Richmond some years ago. So, Cat DeSouza, welcome to the Richmond Blue Collar Tennis RVA podcast.
Thank you.
So I appreciate the fact that you're in your vehicle because you're actually running a tennis camp right now. That's outstanding. And we apologize for interrupting that, but I know you have help. So it's not just you that's responsible for the 30 kids that you're running through this camp right now. As I mentioned, so we typically start out by just talking about your origin story. So, and I don't think I've ever actually heard this, where you were born and raised and what the history is for you as far as background is concerned.
So I was born in Petersburg. My parents were members of Battlefield Park and Swim Club, which is near Petersburg High School. And so that's where I started playing tennis and swam on the swim team. Summers were the best because that's all we did. We played tennis, we swam, and we played tennis. And that's everything I did for many, many summers. And I'm so glad because, I mean, my parents actually gave me lessons when I was 4, which was,
Wow.
It was pretty cool. And so then I graduated high school in 87, went to JMU.
High school,
had kids.
I'm sorry, Kat, high school in Petersburg?
Colonial Heights.
Oh, Colonial Heights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so ended up moving to Colonial Heights after my parents split. But played tennis all of my childhood and then kind of put it away for a while, like a lot of people do. But then picked it back up, and your wife was one of my first teammates. So she was where I got back into it.
Nice. Yeah, Joanne got me involved. She played in high school, and then she got me hooked on it like 10 years ago, I guess. So yeah, she's an instigator.
Yeah, we had some good times. We had a lot of great times.
Yeah, nice. So within that history, did you play tennis in high school, or did you play in college also?
I played in high school. I didn't really play in college. Dabbled a little bit, but nothing like, college play today.
Okay.
So I'm really fortunate to have this role. I know we will get to that later, but I didn't play in college. I'm not a 4 or 5 and above. I'm just a 4.0 rec player. But just love the sport like you and Joanne and Pat, many others. Just love it so much, and just got kind of lucky to be able to do it for a living.
Yeah. So and you do multiple things. Obviously, you're running a camp now. You were heavily involved in world team tennis. Is that still one of your passions?
Well, not so. That was when my first job in the tennis industry was in 2014, and that's when I got hired to start world team tennis leagues in Richmond, Charlottesville, and Northern Virginia. And I did that for 3 years. And then just kind of decided I didn't want to work for that organization anymore for various reasons. And one of my colleagues in Charlottesville, he suggested I get certified to teach. So that's when I got certified to teach tennis. And Raintree was fortunate enough to hire me. I was a member there and doing some social media marketing stuff for them. So they hired me as a coach, and that's kind of where my teaching career began.
Outstanding. So do you get to play much now that you're teaching so often?
Well, I do need to practice a little bit more. I do play USTA. I'm on a team. I play 4.0 ladies. I'm not doing mixed or anything right now, just because if I play, I can't work. And if I don't work, someone's not going to get a lesson. And I just really am passionate about teaching. And most of the people I work with are beginners and intermediates. And, I want them to be able to, whether they want to play competitively or whatever. So I don't, one day I'll play more, but I still play. It's also one way to keep me connected with friends. Like, your friends or your teammates. So I want to have some type of life outside of work. So I do play a little bit.
Nice. Yeah. And I think you sell yourself short. You said you're a 4.0. I would I would respectfully disagree. I think your level is at least a strong 4-0.
Oh no!
From what I remember.
Oh no!
From what I remember. So no, that's all good.
I'm a good 4-0. That's about it. But
Sure.
But yeah.
So right now in Charlottesville, you're doing the summer camp or the summer tennis camp, and then do you have what other teaching? Are you doing teaching independently or through a club out there as well?
So you may not know this. I'm the tennis director at the ACAC in Charlottesville.
Oh, I did not know that. Holy cow! Wow,
I know.
Wow, you and Monty in Richmond, right?
Right. So like when my connections in Charlottesville started when I got the world team tennis job. And then Larry and I divorced and I was like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And I was working a little bit at the Boar's Head and had gotten into grad school at UVA. So I'm like, I'm going to move to Charlottesville. And I was running PATA at the time, the Piedmont Area Tennis Association. That's the wheelchair tennis connection.
Okay,
so I was actually part of that whole like that thing being born. Like I was a part of the articles of incorporation, like the bylaws.
That's outstanding.
So we got that off the ground in 19. I know I might be jumping a little bit. So that's kind of how I ended up in Charlottesville. And then I never in a million years thought I would be working here. But Joyce, do you know Joyce Steed?
Yes.
Have you ever met Joyce? All right.
I've met her. Yeah, I haven't. I'm not great friends, but I've met her. She plays at ACAC on occasion. Yeah. So yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to play on a team with her out of Charlottesville four years ago. And this position was open. And after I played with her, I'm like, I think I want to apply for that job. Anyway, so there aren't many female tennis directors. And like I said, I didn't play in college. So to have this job, I feel really, really fortunate. And I love it. So we have 7 clay tennis courts. This place is not your average ACAC. It's not a fitness location. It is a licensed childcare facility. We have a pool down the parking lot. There's a preschool, and then after school summer camp, and then we have tennis. So it's kind of an interesting place, but we've got awesome tennis courts. And so I teach private lessons, I teach clinics, and we have camp. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Wow, that's great. So how many coaches are out there in Charlottesville? Tennis coaches?
Just me.
No way. Just you.
Well, so we only have 7 clay courts. We don't have lights. And of course we shut down in the winter because of clay. So there's really not enough work for more than one pro.
Oh, I see.
Down the road when I want to slow down a little bit, I'll anyway, right now it's totally manageable and I like working. So, we'll see, but for now it's good.
Yeah. The reason I ask is ACAC in Richmond has like 800 tennis members, of which I think there's 700 women and 300 men or however it plays out, or 500 and 300. But yeah, it's, I was going to say, because I think there's at least 5. And actually, Susanna is coming in next, and she's a coach at ACAC. So, yeah, we've been members at ACAC on Midlothian for, I don't even know how long now, 10 years, 9 years, something like that, 8 years maybe.
You're members here too. So if you ever come to Charlottesville, you can come play here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't make that connection that you were working there as the director. Well, congratulations on that. I know it's how many years have you been in that role now?
3.5.
Wow, good for you.
I know.
Nice.
Time flies.
Nice.
I love it. I love this job. I don't think the only thing I think I would leave for, I have to get something a lot better, but I plan on staying here till I retire and head back to Richmond because my daughter's going to get married next year.
Oh, wow. Nice.
We got those things going on too. I hope Rachel's doing well.
Yeah, I was going to say, is your daughter still playing tennis?
Yeah, in fact, she's playing at ACAC.
Nice.
Not a lot, but about once a week. We're going to try to hit there on Saturday. But yeah, she's trying to get back into it. She finally got a pair of tennis shoes and she's enjoying it.
Yeah, good for you guys. So we're going through the Tallheimer Challenge right now at ACAC, and there's a team, Randy Moore and his son are actually challenging, which is a very cool very cool thing at 3-5 level. So that's it's nice that they're really solid. I can't imagine they're not going to get through to be, representing ACAC just because of how good they are. So, but I like to see that where the parent and the child are playing together. That's a great thing.
Yeah, I hope to do that with Catherine Lee. She's like, I'm not ready yet. I'm like, well, you kind of are, but whenever she's ready, I'd love to play on a team with her.
So do you ever interact with the JMU UVA or you mentioned JMU as your alma mater, right?
Well, when I ran PATA, that's what we call the Piedmont Area Tennis Association. Yep. I was at Boar's Head a lot because we did all of our wheelchair tennis programming there. I did Special Olympics tennis over there. Helped out with the challengers, the women's challenger in the spring and the men's challenger in the fall. So I was over there a lot. And then once I got this job, I'm like, I can't do this and almost anything else because I got to run this. I got to make sure the courts are in shape. I mean, clay courts are wonderful, but they're a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I just kind of had to I even got rid of my real estate license last fall. I was doing that too. But you just get to a point where you just want to put everything you've got into one thing and make it great. And so that's what I'm doing here at ACAC, just trying to make it the best facility, make those courts as awesome as I can, water them like twice a day. I
was going to say, you have a maintenance guy, don't you? Or are you the maintenance guy?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, this is nothing like mid-low, nothing like mid-low.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're kind of like on our own and I don't really mind. And it's 10 weeks of craziness in the summer. And then after that, I get some downtime. But I'm just, all in for those 10 weeks because, winter's coming, Game of Thrones, feast or famine, no lights, no roof. So I do some stuff in the arena, but it's a rubber floor. It's horrible. And I teach pickleball, but, anyway, so I do have some help. I don't want to say I don't, but it's not like mid-low at all.
Sure. Do you, I know you used to love going out to Wintergreen. Do you still do that for the tennis clinics and stuff like that?
You think I would because it's an hour away, but I haven't been to Wintergreen since COVID, I don't think.
Wow.
They were like one of the first places to have an outdoor concert during COVID.
Yeah.
I talk about it and I know a woman that teaches there. Her name is Gretchen. She's amazing. I'd love to go see her, but I haven't. Besides work, I try to spend time with my kids and my dad, my sister, which are all an hour and a half away. So, when I'm not working, I try to make sure I have time for them.
Family, yeah.
But I haven't been to Wintergreen in a while. And that's where, Joanne and I would go with Alice and have a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. She still talks about those trips. Very fun.
So fun.
Yeah. It's a great location for not only the scenery and everything else, but the tennis is outstanding. The clinics.
Oh yeah. It's a great facility. Yeah.
It is that. So if we can shift gears, let's get into the nerdy aspect of this stuff. So, are you kind of like an equipment nerd? Do you get into the type of racket and the type of strings and all that relative to the tennis equipment you're using?
Well, I have become a Wilson fanatic. I don't dislike Babolat's or Heads, but the Wilson rep is in Richmond. His name is Preston Lemon, and I've known him for probably 12 years, and I've always been a fan of his. And so when I got my job, I realized, I get to work with Preston. So I buy everything from him. I wear Wilson shoes, Wilson rackets, Wilson strings. We sell only Wilson balls. Nice. I think pin are the worst, so I will never sell pin balls.
Put these away.
Yeah. No, those aren't bad. It's the ones you get at Costco that are for the birds.
Absolutely.
But I do. I mean, I like a lot of things, but I do. I'm a Wilson fan, mainly because I like the guy that sells it, and they're good products. So nice. I try to wear.
Wilson appreciates the loyalty. So I had Kieran in here a couple times, and he does the stringing at ACAC in Midlothian, and he knows that I've tried Wilson. I'm not a big fan necessarily. So I'm more into the Yonex rackets these days, but he never fails to bring that up. He's like, "You're a Wilson. How can you not be using Wilson rackets and stuff
hilarious.
like that?" I do wear Wilson
Right.
shoes, but otherwise, yeah. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
Joanne also plays Wilson, and she loves the I forget which one she's on now, the Clash or I forget which one it is. But yeah, so she's a Wilson fan also. So I know you're a fitness buff too.
Otherwise, you will not be able to
Hold on.
That's all right. So
Okay.
yeah, I know you're a fitness buff. So what is short of doing all the tennis clinics and everything else, how do you maintain your fitness level for the tennis and so on?
Well, the nice thing for like 20 years, that's kind of like what I'm resting my laurels on. I think I went to the gym in January and then I got COVID and I haven't been back. I did not work out anymore. Like, it's terrible. All I do is tennis. But I think just teaching yoga and Pilates for 20 years really has helped me. I plan to get back in the gym. I just haven't done it yet. I'm really more concerned about stretching because I don't want to get injured. And I have a very low sugar diet, so I think that helps. So yeah, I mean, one day I'll get back in there, and I really should. I just, work, go home, work, go home.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I am right now.
I think I'm the polar opposite. So I have a high sugar diet, which probably includes a little too much beer and so on. But then, I just found out this morning I went to ortho and I've got a partially torn left hamstring. So,
oh no,
yeah, that's all wrapped up, and I'm looking at 3 weeks, I guess, on the bench. So that's frustrating.
Wow. Yeah, take care of that.
Yeah, I mean, I just turned 65, and it seemed like all of a sudden the switch went off, and everything starts hurting. You feel the tweaks and the twings, and everything starts just flaring up. It seems so. As you get older, as you said, it's harder to. You got to stretch and you got to be real aware of not to overdo it. So I was telling these guys, I played 3 days in a row and then played a fourth day. And I think that's when the hamstring said that's way too much. So yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. It's my decision, my choice. So it's Joanne's not giving me any break on that. She's like, "You're an idiot. You played too many days in a row." So it's unfortunate.
Right.
All right. So if you had the opportunity to, and you probably do within the course of your coaching, you have the opportunity to talk to somebody for the first time about tennis. How would you describe it? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot to get some, spectacular answer, but from your perspective as a coach and so on, and running ACAC, how do you sort of sell the idea of tennis to a newcomer?
Well, the beauty about tennis, I mean, it's hard. It's not an easy sport. But if you make it very simple in the beginning, and I work with a lot of kids, some preschoolers, and once they can just they don't have to rally, but then some can after a few months, but just getting, you call it a touch, just getting touches on the ball, just they they're smiling, they're happy. And just build them slowly. Don't get them too frustrated because we get frustrated. It's a technical sport.
Yep.
But just trying to make it doable gradually so that they can, really pick it up and, and get more technical the better they get. But just making it fun and doable.
Yeah. Yeah. So one more question for you. So you said you started at 4 years old as being playing tennis?
And this was in the 70s. We didn't have red balls and orange balls and green dot balls.
You were using the regular Wilson.
I had a racquetball racket. My parents gave me a racquetball racket, and that's what I used.
Yeah, because you were so small, you had to have different sized racket. Yeah, so you played from 4 years old on, and then you sort of gave it up for a while, and then you came back to it.
Yeah, I played tournaments. We had to, in the 70s, we had to register for tournaments via the newspaper, and anyway, I was eaten up with it. That's all I wanted to do was play tennis. And I was fortunate enough my dad took me to tournaments like Dinwiddie, Hopewell. That's where we played, and Petersburg. And it was just the best. And so when I gave it up, once I rejoined Ridgetop, I was like, I think I want to get back into it. It all came back. Like, oh, I remember now why I love tennis so much.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
Yeah, it's just a great sport. And like they said, it's a lifelong sport. So
yeah, as long as you don't get injured like me, you can play. You can play till you're 100, I think.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope.
That's right. That's right. All right, Cat. Hey, I appreciate the time, and we'll have you back on at a later date so we can get an update from Charlottesville, and we can talk more tennis
when I'm not in a car. Yeah, that'd be great.
That's right. That's
and
right.
I can connect if you want to meet David Wagner. I'm happy to connect y'all, and he will be here August 7th through the 10th.
Okay.
And there was a documentary just done on him. It's really cool. He's a great guy, a great friend. Nice. Just let me know down the road.
Yeah, that was one of I sort of dropped that question. I wanted to ask you about David. Yeah, so he's a very accomplished wheelchair tennis player. I forget the numbers, but multiple Grand Slam doubles and singles championships.
Yeah.
And does he still reside in Charlottesville, or is he?
Oh no, he never did.
Oh, okay.
He's in San Diego.
Oh,
but
wow.
when we are we out of time?
No, you're good. You're good.
So in 19, somebody suggested, it might have been Shima Grover, suggested I apply for a national position on a USTA committee. So I did, and I got on the wheelchair committee. And then, so that was kind of cool. That was kind of my introduction to wheelchair tennis. And then River City, Sportable had their first wheelchair tournament in 2000 and must have been 21 because of COVID. So I helped Forest Lodge with that tournament. And during that tournament, I'm like, we could do this in Charlottesville. So Troy Porco at Boar's Head let PATA have our first wheelchair tournament that December. So River City Slam is in June, and then PATA has theirs in December. And now we've added a wheelchair tennis camp in August because David Wagner came out for the first tournament and loved Charlottesville so much. He's like, hey, can we do a camp? Luckily, Boar's Head said yes. So now there's the wheelchair tennis camp in August and the tournament in December. And he's been a part of every one of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So do you need volunteers for that event? I would imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't do as much with that organization anymore just because my hands are full here.
Yeah.
But they're always looking for volunteers for both camp and tournament.
Okay. I'll look into that. That sounds like a worthwhile cause, obviously. So that'd be nice.
Yeah. And you get to be in the Boar's Head for, during that time, which is nice.
Yeah. That's outstanding. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I'll get back with you relative to catching up with David, and then I'll get back with you on the camp too, just to see if I can hook up with those folks.
Okay. That'd be great.
Anything else you want to say at this point as far as final words other than,
just thank you for thinking of me. I'm lucky to be in this role. Just love sharing the sport with anybody that wants to learn it, or, like I said, I'm looking at 30 kids out there that are getting to play tennis for 5 hours a day.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
And they're having a blast. Last week was hot as what.
Yeah. And
this week is so much milder. But they tough it out. They do it. And, tennis is like life. You got to deal with what you get and, make them a little bit tougher with the heat.
That's outstanding. Well, good on you for working all that out there. We appreciate it. And Cat, I appreciate your time. So you have a good rest of the day and a great. All
right, thanks. Sorry for being late.
Camp. No,
tell
don't
Joanne,
worry.
give her a hug for me.
I will do that.
Tell Rachel hello.
I will do that. Take care. See you.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.